see how this goes in. So hello everyone, I'm Chris Vint, Vintomania, so you may be watching this, you will be watching this on my channel, but then this person here is...
Alan G.W. Price.
Yeah, so we thought we'd bring you our video to do with WrestleMania. Now unfortunately Chris and Haley couldn't be here.
They're lazy because they're going to Raw tomorrow.
Yes, they're going over to see Robbie Rebel and Sean Blackford, so I hope they have a good trip and they're meeting Mr. Chaos here, Mr. Chaos Heel and Waldo, and possibly running Martin Steins as well, which would be pretty good fun to do. But we're planning to go in November time to the Manchester one. So
sadly, we couldn't get work off, and so much money is going to be going out over the next month. It's kind of a bit ridiculous.
Yes, and Chris is not me. Big Red is already broke, and he's going. So yeah. Quite a few weeks back, it seemed weird saying that it's a few weeks now.
It feels like no time ago,
What was
though.
it, 3 weeks Sunday?
Pretty much, yeah.
3 weeks Sunday, we were sitting in the MetLife Arena to watch WrestleMania 29. And this is just going to kind of serve as a collaborative effort between us two, just to do with our experiences. Now, we'll probably not go on to our, like guys we met and stuff, because I'm doing that separately, because I'd like to show off my autographs and tell the story behind it, as the same kind of as Alan would probably do. Okay, yeah, alright, okay, I was wondering what the heck you were doing there. So, obviously on the Thursday was the time that we flew out and went to the airport for our lovely 6-hour flight, which actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, because like the last time I went to New York, the flight, it lasted about 7.5 hours, so I was really, really shocked to see that it was only going to be a really, really short flight. I think it ended up being about 6 hours 15 minutes or something like that going out.
It was like 6 hours 5 minutes,
yeah.
I think. Yeah. So.
It was much quicker coming back. But definitely it was nice to have the shorter flight. But needless to say, security entering the United States of America was a total behatch.
I didn't, like Alan said, now be prepared because you're going to have to get your photo taken and fingerprints, and I thought that's fine, it'll be, but I did not expect the queue that was there, and that was the first of many, many queues. The longest queue we ever went to. Now obviously with us going to WrestleMania 30, we are going to WrestleMania 30, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's official that we're going to WrestleMania 30. So yeah, donations to PayPal at chrisvint@hotmail.com. Please give generously, big issue. Yeah, so I didn't expect that queue to be as long as it was, and obviously once you've had a 6-hour flight, you then have another 2 hours to do that. So
that was just killer, and the fact that besides the length of time we were there, I think it was the heat and all as well, because it happened to be very, very sunny at that time of the day, and New York Airport has like glass roofs, so it was literally like a greenhouse.
No
in there.
windows or anything. So yeah, so obviously with us going to 30, we'll be going to Dublin Airport, because that all gets done out of the road. So then it's just a case of.
I actually had an argument with my auntie about this today.
Did you?
Because they've flown out of Dublin a few times to go to a holiday in Vegas. And she was like, no, you still have to do security when you get to America. And we're like, no, we don't, because we had someone that was with us on the trip that actually went through Dublin and didn't have to do it. Mm-hmm. She was like, oh right, well it wasn't like that last time I went.
So then we checked into the Hampton Inn, which was basically, it was a really, really good hotel, and probably the second best hotel, because the Sheraton was just fantastic, but more on that later. And then you would have seen Haley's vlog where she's in the room with me talking, and she shows the view from the window, and then goes into this numpty and Chris, and they go, we've got our TV on. Have you opened the window? No. And you go like, whoa, that's a cracking view, isn't it? So, you see the MetLife right in front of you, and I saw it right over to the right-hand side.
It wasn't
just right over here.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was a brilliant view.
And more so at night time as well, once we got back after the Thursday night access.
Yeah, well, Thursday night access, I honestly thought that we wouldn't be going there. I thought we'd all be too tired, but we were all.
I think we would have regretted it if we hadn't went.
Yeah, but I don't think there was much that I regret about the trip. To be honest with you, I don't think there was much that I regretted, not doing or anything like that.
You did most of the stuff that you really kind of wanted to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, we did that. We did WrestleCon. I did Access. Who did you meet in Access?
Access Thursday night.
Cesaro?
It was Antonio Cesaro, AJ, and Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah,
On the
mine
Thursday night.
was DDP, Ricky Steamboat, Dusty Rhodes, and
You'll
Jimmy Hart.
You'll notice a theme there, everybody. As you'll have seen in pretty much everybody's videos that have been to WrestleMania 29, they have stated that Access was really, really troublesome
Yeah.
in various things. I didn't mind the whole arena thing in the sense of, you got to sit down and all, but it's what they then did when you're in those seats, in the sense if you ended up being taken down, right, okay, certain rows, you all sit there and you can go and you can sit and you can watch matches happening for Access and all that sort of stuff, but you're sitting there for ages, and there was guys that I was hearing stories of for having to wait an hour and a half
I find it
just to meet one superstar. And if you think, right, superstars only hang around for 2 hours. Each Access is a 4-hour session.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, if you get bad luck, you can maybe meet 2 people at most and maybe a legend, which is kind of what happened to me on the Thursday night, because AJ was absolute disaster.
You said that was incredibly rushed. It was kind of a case of here's your hat and what's your ring.
I understand now. At Access, what they did was there was a special area outside most of the signing areas, for disabled fans, and so what they would do is like the wrestlers would start their session, sign stuff for us, and then they would maybe get some. After all, we told right, there's 4 or 5 disabled people outside waiting to meet you, and so they trundle off for usually maybe 5 minutes at most, so not a great deal. But literally AJ disappeared for about 20 minutes and it was ridiculous, so everybody was getting quite frustrated with that. So literally, if those 20 minutes hadn't happened, I could have met maybe another legend or 2 or something on the Thursday night, which was a bummer.
I went for the legends because with the UK Rampage fellas, Robbie, Sean and Ollie, who I must state are 3 of the nicest people that we had the fortune to meet.
Top blokes.
Nothing was too much trouble for them. Just really, really good fun to hang around with, and I hope that's the first of many times that we actually hang out together.
Indeed.
Because just chatting to them, like I've chatted to them before on Skype, and it actually seems like I've known them for years. Like that we just met up the year, like the day before, and like I was the first of many trends, thankfully, on our trip. But I mainly stuck with the legends. Now I queued up with them to meet Swagger, and we went in and sat down.
But it was awfully warm.
And I had a jacket on and a shirt and a t-shirt, so I took my jacket off and I thought I'll cool down a wee bit, and still got a wee bit too warm. And I don't like breathing in like stuffy air. I'm weird like that, and I found it too warm. And then I heard that the line gets cut at 8 o'clock and Jack Swagger may be replaced with Primo and Epico.
Yeah.
No. So I was just a case of, look, I can't stay here, I'm just going to go. So I think I just went and met one of the other legends. But they didn't get to meet Swagger. They had like I think they had an argument with somebody because they cut the line or whatever, even though they were in there or something. So they ended up meeting them.
Well, the thing was, right, a perfect example of how it works. How bad it was actually when, especially on the Thursday night. I don't know particularly about the other days, but actually when me and Chris Hill were waiting for Cesaro, now we were sitting there, we were waiting, it was fine, we were told it won't be too long. I remember actually sending you a text saying, right, me and Chris are at Cesaro.
Yeah.
And then me and Hill are sitting there, 20-25 minutes has passed when we've been waiting to meet Cesaro, and we turn round and lo and behold, there goes Healy, Sean, Ollie, all the English boys going to meet Cesaro, and they came in ages after us. So it shows you how
I retract my previous statements about those 3.
I'm not meaning it in the sense of English guys. No, I'm meaning it in the sense of how organised the place was. That
chaos.
They weren't paying attention to sort of what people had, what cues they had, brought in first. Mm-hmm. That they were just like, yep, you guys can go or whatever. So, Access was fairly a disaster. Bar our awesomeness on the Friday though.
Yeah. Right, so Thursday, I think that we then went back to the hotel and ordered Domino's.
Domino's.
Yeah, we actually got it delivered to the hotel, which was epic.
It was awesome.
It was just like a case of he rang the phone and said like, yeah, you ordered a pizza, I'm down the lobby, could you come get it? Went down the lobby, got it and brought it back up, and it was $45 for 2 large pizzas, was it 6 bottles of water and like a big bottle of
Yeah.
something like that. So absolute steal and absolute awesome.
Gorgeous.
First of many pizzas, but certainly not the nicest.
But you
pizza.
kind of can't not do pizza when you're in America, especially the New York area.
So then the Friday,
Friday was we didn't have anything to particularly do during the day.
So Friday we kind of just went around a bit of New York, well, obviously we had to move from there to the Sheraton.
You didn't mention that. You didn't mention once we got to the Sheraton though.
I haven't got to the Sheraton yet.
Well, I'm going to say Sheraton now then. Sheraton was a disaster at the start.
Yeah, I was going to say about the check-in. That's where I was going.
Sorry, I was thinking ahead.
No.
I was in my own world
That's
thinking
what
ahead.
I was going to say. Like, we got to the Sheraton and Haley and the information that we had got said
wrong.
that we were going to check in at 11. And we got there and they said, no, check-in's not till 3. So we could store bags, which meant we weren't walking around with them, which was
nice.
Which was
So
so
nice.
good. Although having said that, I think out of all of us, Haley had the heaviest bags. For somebody who is so light, who looks so light and isn't, and you know, like her bags were just like made up for it. And then Alan,
This
who's
is actually
in
good.
reverse,
Yeah. That's
had
what
the
I was about to
lightest
say.
bag.
I was
You
about
know.
to say, yeah.
That's no detriment to you, sir. But
No, it's okay. I made up for it. If I'm not going to incur the wrath of like Samoa Air, who's going to start charging you for the weight of the individual on their flight, not the actual baggage or anything.
So yeah, we went and checked our bags, and then
GI.
went and looked around New York, and then came back, and we thought we'll go back about 4 because then obviously a lot of people have got done. So then Mikey actually texted us because I texted him whenever we were at the back of the line. Alan said, "Why don't you text him and see where he is, see if we can like
jump."
Exactly." So I text him, and in America it takes a while for the text to actually go through and then come back, as we would find to our cost on Friday evening as well. But he said, yeah, I've already checked in, I'm in room number whatever it was, and said it took him
Penthouse suite.
like king size bed and all, it took him an hour and a half to check in. Whereas they were very good in the fact that they were handing out cookies, giving us bottles of water and stuff. And so Alan and Chris decided to go and get our bags, and Haley and I would go and check us in. Now, I don't have it.
What were you thinking?
I was going to show them a key card.
Oh yeah, I don't have mine. I took mine out as well.
I could go and get it, but
Just think the WrestleMania poster bought in hotel room key card
yeah,
form.
I haven't said that. Do you see somebody selling one on eBay for a tenner?
What's the point? I would
don't
rather
understand
keep it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we checked in there, and the woman was lovely and said, "Here's your keys. How many do you need? 4. Right, okay. You need to. You can hang on to this as a souvenir. You don't need to give it back." And we're like, "Great." So I'm allergic to feathers, so I needed to see about whether it was like what way the mattresses and stuff were. So I had to go and get that all changed. And then we went and saw these two, and I said to Haley, "Right, Haley, we have to play a joke. We're on the 50th floor, okay? That's where we're at. We're on the top floor." So I went over, and my face just looked like, like it normally does, like a smacked arse. And I went over, and went, "Typical." And Alan goes, "What?" And I went, 50th floor. And Alan goes, "Yes!" And goes like that, the hill. And I turned around to Haley and went, "Told you to buy it. Yes, we're on the 20th floor." And he was like, "Oh, damn
Just
it."
shows you how cruel me and Hill are at wanting to have been on the top floor.
I actually didn't mind the view at all. The view was quite nice.
And there was an apartment with an Italian flag across the way, so
Yeah, exactly.
Robbie Webble,
Boyd Webber.
Robbie Webble,
Jonathan Wass.
Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett. Bobby Army.
Would have liked that.
Yeah, so we checked in our room, and obviously 4 people, 2 beds. So he got the better end of the deal because he shared with Haley, and I was going to share with Chris.
That hand rubbing there thing didn't look well, did it?
Just rub your legs as well. while you're at it.
I was meaning in terms of getting the better deal.
So I was going to share with Chris, and Chris could do nothing but laugh and go like, "Right, we're going to have pillows down the middle."
Top and tail.
Yeah, so he actually said, "What if we were to get more pillows, and it will make a pillow bed in the middle?" So he actually stayed there the whole
Yeah, the
time,
whole time.
and
He actually enjoyed it.
He actually enjoyed it because I said that I would do that and give him the bed, and he was like, "No, I like it. It's comfortable." So hands up to the man, because fair enough. I don't think we all had ridiculously long periods of sleep.
No.
I think maybe the last hotel would have been the one that I probably got the most sleep in. But I think it was just scared. You were scared of missing too much or missing something, perhaps.
Or spooning with someone you didn't think you would have to.
Yeah, exactly. Just waking up, go, those aren't pillows. Ah! Oh, what a horrible thought. So then, once we checked in, did we go?
It was we went to Heartland Brewery. We went to Heartland.
Yes.
Oh, he's away. There we go.
That is here. So it just tells you where it is and all about it and stuff. So I just grabbed one of them. And it just tells you where you can actually... And it'll be the first of... Was that the third... One of three times? Yeah.
First day, Tuesday with Mike, and then the Wednesday we were going.
Yeah, that's right. So we went there, and one thing about this man is whenever you've been somewhere where he's been before, he knows the good places to eat.
No, really?
Yes, really, really. So, I couldn't fault it at all. There, the atmosphere was really good. The waiter that we had was excellent. Like if the glass was empty, do you want another one of them? They obviously get
another glaçon.
They obviously get a big tip, but they earn it. Apart from our last one, who only got $1 tip.
That's going to be another story for towards the end.
Yeah. So we went there and had our food. These guys were happy because they had a big thing of beer. Which you see in Haley's video, go like the boys happy, and they both at the same time lift their glass and take a drink, which I thought was just perfectly done. Whereas I had just some water and the first of many burgers.
He's hardcore. He's hardcore.
First of many burgers and chips. Oh, sorry, French fries, and just really enjoyed it. And Haley got a T-shirt from there, didn't she?
Yeah, Haley got a girl's T-shirt, a green one or something. Can't remember what exactly is on it. It's in her photos.
And then was it? Then we went to the NHL store, or was it the day after?
No, it was the first day. We did first day we were physically in New York. Yeah. So the checking in day was when we went to the NHL store. I think that was when we were killing time still. So that was Heartland Brewery was before check-in, and then we just went for a bit of a wander about. We were going to go to Rockefeller, but my radar was still kind of getting back in order for it. I missed it by like a block. That hurt.
Sounded sore.
But we went to the NHL store, had a bit of a wander about. These three were kind enough to give me a donation for finding awesome food.
For WrestleMania 30.
For finding awesome food, they gave me a donation to get myself a goal light. This is getting really artistic for me. I'm like Two-Face right here. I've got bright here and I'm dark here.
What do you want the? Here, I'll do this.
May as well put the main lights on now. Hello! How are you? The bright lights are here. But, yes, we went to the NHL store. Later on that evening when we were having a look through Haley's camera at the pictures, I was like, oh, you took pictures of the NHL store? And she says, yeah, I was bored. And I was like, cheers, Haley.
I wasn't bored at all. I mean, we got Mike
something. Shop.
We got Mike something. We got him like a bottle cooler and a wee goal light keychain thing. So
which he has used the cooler. So
yes, exactly. So my gift was useful. This wasn't. So once we did that, we went. Obviously, the main crux of Friday was going to meet the Undertaker.
That was a stressful evening.
That was because then we met Mikey then as well. And that was the first time we met Mikey, because obviously I was going to WrestleCon the next day with him, because these guys were going to Access. I was generous enough to give my Saturday morning ticket to Alan. I'm still waiting reimbursement for that, but anyway. So met Mikey, and then we went over to Access.
That was just...
Yeah. It's just a case of, because you don't know the lay of the land, like you're going...
We thought we'd left in tons of time,
and I was starting to get a bit stressed out because I didn't know if we were going to make it on time. And we didn't make it there for, what was it, 7:10 thereabouts?
Yes, we had 20 minutes to get to meet Undertaker, and we made, I think, the queue with 10 minutes to go, but there's people arrived after us, not many people after us, but there were still people arrived after the 7:30 slot and they let them in, so we were lucky enough.
We weren't that bad, but to be honest with you, you know, like we went there earlier. I think it was a case of that was mainly it.
Yeah, it was literally
Friday
literally like, right, we've met Undertaker. Relax.
I met Undertaker, right? Okay, so I'm not going to talk about the Undertaker and neither will Alan, but we'll talk about what happened backstage. Because this was quite interesting.
I have that video footage still, so I will upload that on my channel at some stage, so you'll get to physically kind of see what went on.
But Alan turned his phone off at a time where he shouldn't have.
Yeah, because I heard someone say cameras off, and I was like, all right, we're not going to get to film the locker rooms and stuff like that. I realised now the reasoning was the fact that when we were walking through backstage and I was vlogging to the phone, John Cena was making his way out to replace Undertaker for the next VIP session. And so literally like seconds before Cena reaches us, I said, oh, I'll have to turn the camera off, and hit the record button to stop the recording. And then literally John arrives with us and then, you know, says a few words with us.
He says about Rey Mysterio was in the massage room getting a massage, you might want to watch that. Now I've taken a photo, but there's a guy in front of him, so you can kind of see, they'll see the hat.
So there is proof.
There is proof, but you just can't see his face. But believe me whenever I say, I swear on everything that I hold dear in my life, that John Cena interacted with us. In fact, the only regret that I have is not saying to him, can we get a photo? That's the only regret I have, but I think we were too taken aback by the fact that he walked past us. Like all of us had some backstage interaction with a superstar. Like Haley had DDP and Kane unmasked. You know, I think Chris would have swapped his right arm for that, to be honest. But I think we were kind of taken aback.
He's met him twice in 2 weeks.
I think we were all taken aback by that, and the fact that we, you know, like the main guy for Raw, you know, for WWE, just like walked past us
and talked to
us, you know, and that was a bit of a mark-out moment, really, because it was just like, did that actually just happen?
Because, like, I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. I respect what he does, all that sort of stuff, but you still kind of have that sort of surreal moment as in, wait, the guy for WWE just has been walking here and has just turned around and spoke a few words with us, and you're just like, alrighty then, you know. So we kind of got 2 for the price of 1 for our money. You know, we got to meet Undertaker, and then we got to have Cena walk past us and talk to us as well.
And then we got to see Xavier Woods,
Jerry Briscoe.
Yeah, oh yeah, well,
very nice man.
Everyone had their legend. Now I've seen like Sean.
UK Rampage got
Fink, and he seemed really nice. You know, like
I'd like to have met Fink.
You hear him going, "I'm happy to meet some new friends," and you're like, "Yay!" But Jerry Briscoe, like, I was just like, what the hell do I have for this guy to sign? So actually, I got Jimmy Hart to sign this, and I'm really, really stupid for doing that because I had my Hall of Fame program that I could have got him to sign that, and I totally forgot that.
I was lucky. I purchased the program earlier on the Thursday, so I had the Hall of Fame section of that year's of WrestleMania 29's program.
Well, I had a Raw,
which was fantastic.
I had a Raw 15th anniversary magazine, so I just got them both to sign that, and that's what happened. A very, very nice man, you know, like saying about, is it you that has my photo of him, or is it Chris?
Me.
Right, because I know Chris has my photo with me in Steamboat, and you have
it's everybody has a mixture of everybody's photos. It's quite ridiculous. It was just I think it was just whatever you had to hand, you took the picture with.
Yeah.
But then we also have, you know, we went round, saw the rooms, we saw like Vince's office
with his butler,
the GM's office, which they didn't use on Raw, so I think they were cheating us a wee bit. But and then we saw the seamstress office.
Oh, yeah.
Fabulous.
Oh, makeup. Oh, I got a brush put on by Alan.
But and Lord Alfred made an appearance in there, so it'll have to be all edited together. But no, the backstage segment was good, and then we were walking back because you kind of went in a loop. You went up one side and then came round, and then when we were at the turning point, that's when the door opened, and like Chris says, we saw Xavier Woods, and there was a 3-man band, and basically most of the the guys were out there. So we went round, we were coming back, and just as we were going back to the place where we passed John Cena, you know, on the way back to where Jerry Briscoe was sitting, this elderly gentleman comes through the door and is being manned by 2 security. I'm looking at him and I'm turning to the guys and I'm going, who is that? And we're like,
we thought it was
and
Mad Dog Vachon.
Initially it was like, is that Mad Dog Vachon? Because he was very, very similar looking,
Yeah.
but he looked healthy. Because, you know, as we all kind of know, when Mad Dog Vachon was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he looked rather worse for wear. But when we got up to the concourse level, we then realised that it was, in fact, Ivan Koloff. Yes, I know, slap us in the face for getting that one wrong. But still, it's another one, and I got a quick snap of that, so I do have the picture in my slideshow on my channel. So go look at that if you haven't seen that. Or you may be watching this on the channel as well, so whatever. But the picture was taken, so that was cool. We saw him as well. So we all kind of got to see multiple people in our backstage kind of experience. So it wasn't like it was a totally fake backstage experience, because, yeah, the guys were wandering about there, so totally good times anyway.
We didn't really meet anyone else after that.
No, that's what I was saying earlier. Kind of, we all just went and met Undertaker.
Obviously, we did our photo on the ramp once we got up to the grill position, which was totally surreal, you know, to see all that. And you'd see it like on my video and stuff, you know, like the photo that we had all done together, which I thought was kind of cool, because some people had just stand on the ramp. Haley did yes, and I think Ollie did a couple of things with his belt.
And I saw two people do the HBK and Shawn Michaels entrance.
Yeah. So we decided to do like the NWO, Alan in the middle as like Razor, and then Hall and Nash, you know, or Hogan and Nash, you know, just going like that there. And the camera guy was actually laughing while we did that. Then once we'd finished that, whenever you had a VIP ticket, you were able to have like certain seats at the ring. You know, like they had like some tapings, so we saw like Cassius Ono, he was R-Truth, wasn't he? And then we saw like
Ted DiBiase versus Epico.
DiBiase Posse.
Hill was happy to see Rosa though.
Yeah, with the Al Wiggling. And then
was it Leo Kruger, I think, had a match as well.
Kruger.
I'm on NXT this week.
To all my new friends.
Me and Hill are on NXT this week.
Are you?
Yes. I'll have to show you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You just see in one shot Hill in the top right hand corner of the screen going boo, and then it just changes singing, and you just see me in the top left going boo.
Brilliant. And then El Rio came out, and he was going around, you know, and we had a little disabled kid here, and Chris and I were here, and I kind of went round, and then he stopped, and then I'd go like, Del Rio, and stuck my hand out, and he shook my hand, and he shook Chris's hand, and then Alan went like that there, and then he went up the steps into the ring, so he did. So yeah, I got to shake.
You lost.
Got to shake his hand, and then just hear, you know, like some of the questions that.
That was a good wee segment, though.
Yeah, it was. You know, like it would have been interesting to be there for the Swagger one, and then obviously they had other people there at some stage, like the Miz.
How long have we been going for? 27 minutes.
Yeah, I'm only on Friday. Yeah. And then, you know, like you had stuff like Swagger and Zeb Coulter and things like that. So it was very interactive, and it was good the fact that, you know, we were able to stand in the front of it, because over in the left hand side you had just everyone. You know, like you had like Frankie the Clown and all that nonsense, and
I'm not one for wrestling fan celebrities or
there's
anything
only
like
one
that.
that I like, and I saw him at WrestleCon, and I was going to go over and ask to get a picture taken, and then he walked away, and that was the guy, you know, the skinny guy with the glasses who's always wearing the vest, and you always see him going like that there, like in all the older pay-per-views.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah,
that's the only one that every time I watch wrestling, I'm like, there he is, he's there.
Because at the end of the day, my opinion is they're just a fan, so why should they really be getting all this stuff?
Yeah.
I know people do this for the stuff. Mind, there was one person I didn't see at all, and that was Sign Guy, which is good for you.
Thanks, Sign Guy.
But yeah, we watched some of the VIP stuff in the ring, relaxed there for a while. I think we then did one more lap of the concourse just to see if there was any legends hanging about that we fancied doing.
Mikey came down, and then we all did that together, and then we all just went up, and then we had to get a taxi back, didn't we? Or was that on the Thursday?
No, that was
the Thursday. We got
the
the shuttle bus then.
Because
the Friday. No, we went to the Superstore after.
Oh yeah, the Friday we walked across to the Superstore, and it was freezing cold.
It was freezing, yeah. So
and
then we were outside the arena. You see this on my channel. If you're watching my channel, hello. If you're not, then go over. And
this is getting so confusing.
Yeah, so we're walking outside, and we heard the Coming Home music, and Alan goes, he's in there performing.
Yeah, we initially thought, oh right, he's practicing, because it did sound with the echoing around the arena that it was a live performance.
Yeah.
But then we arrived back, to our hotel later that night, having been to the Superstore and all, and we found out that it was in fact Vince revealing, you know, the way Vince at that stage was bigging up, oh, I have a big thing to show you on SmackDown. It was him revealing the set for WrestleMania, and my goodness, it was awesome.
Yes, it was. And then, so we were outside while that happened.
And vlogging.
Yeah, and vlogging. So you would have heard, you know, like me saying he's actually in there performing, but I put down the bottom that it wasn't P. Diddy performing, but Vince was in there showing what the arena looked like, you know, their Statue of Liberty, the Brooklyn Bridge, and all this here, and what have you. So went in the Superstore and
picked up a couple of shirts.
Yes, I was going to show my shirts, but I really can't be bothered.
We're timing along
yeah,
here.
So I got the program, which is an absolute beast. My dad was looking at this and said his arms were getting sore because it is that.
Like I remember when I initially heard that it was $24. I was just like, oh, can I really warrant paying that for a program? But I was so glad I did, because it's actually worth it for the Hall of Fame part alone, because there's some really, really nice art in it. Like, if you look at that, like, that's all kind of art styled. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And $1 Million Man in there.
Yeah, so we did that, and these guys were toying up whether to get belts or not. I knew fine rightly that I wasn't dropping money then.
Yeah.
I would wait until like a different day. And
I do regret not getting a belt, but in a way it was a good thing, because with the amount of money we're going to have to shell out over the coming month and such, but also getting it home would have been an absolute pain in the backside, because my suitcase just was just an annoyance getting home.
Yeah, so we all picked up some t-shirts. Chris Hill picked up, I was there, t-shirt, and the I'm the tag team champions one. I can't remember what Mikey, I think Mikey had already picked some up. I picked up the long sleeved top you would have seen me wearing at like WrestleCon. I was there, t-shirt, and the Y2J t-shirt.
Which you've been wanting for ages.
Yes, I had been. And then the program, so I dropped like $150 there.
Yeah, and then I dropped 70 because I got the Antonio Cesaro Very European Uber American t-shirt and the Mark Henry Bent on Destruction t-shirt, which I'd been, again, toying with for ages, a bit like Chris, and the Y2J top. But after that, that was... that luckily we found an amazing shuttle bus which was able to take us right back to the Eyes on after the Superstore,
right,
which was fantastic considering how cold it was as well.
Yeah.
Plus my knee was giving me a bit of jip at the time, so all's well that ends well with that one. Right, Saturday was when you shot off to WrestleCon.
Yeah, so I met up with Mikey and went to WrestleCon, and I have to say that WrestleCon kind of, I know I didn't have the guys with me, but to be honest with you, Mikey made that so easy. I didn't really plan where I had to go to, so Mikey was like, we have to go here, then we'll have to go here, and then we'll have to do this. And I was like, right, okay, you lead the way, I trust you, let's go. And obviously this is the first time that it's just kind of been me and him hanging out, but we've kind of stuck together a lot, and just, you know, it was really, really good, because you had somebody there to talk to, you know, like, who's a wrestling fan, etc., etc. So while these three, you know, like, all knew each other, I was kind of still a bit not sure about Mikey. Not that way, you know, like, but I kind of didn't know,
you
know, how
you were
to
getting
get
to know him
conversations
basically,
going.
say, yeah.
And then after that, it was just, you know, like, again, like, we've known each other for years, and I can't thank Mikey enough for making that so easy and
I think the nice way to sum it up is simply that across the whole week of WrestleMania was the fact that it's completely different to, say, if you support a football team. Like, he supports Man United, I support Liverpool, so generally, in footballing terms, we would be at each other's necks, but mind, we aren't overly diehard in terms of that aspect.
It's not like stuff that went down in the Millwall game, if you know about that.
But, you know, Man City, Man United fans would be at each other's necks who are diehards.
Yeah.
Whereas, if you're a wrestling fan, I might like Dolph Ziggler, he likes John Cena, so if that was football, you'd be at each other's throats. But in wrestling, you can like someone and someone else can completely despise them.
Yeah.
And you'll be chatting away on the bus or chatting away on the train or whatever.
I think in wrestling...
It's the same for the entire week.
In wrestling, everyone respects each other's decision, you know, and that kind of thing. But obviously, Saturday was the day that I was looking forward to the most, because I met Hulk Hogan. And I'm not going to say any more than that. But there was so much going on at WrestleCon, you know, it was so seamless compared to Access. You know, the longest queue I had at WrestleCon was on the Sunday, which was for Bret Hart, which was maybe about half an hour, 40 minutes at most. But you know, I had conversations with Mickey James, with Hogan, with Virgil, and some stage Hacksaw Jim Duggan. You know, there were so many people that I met that I had the privilege to talk to, and to be honest with you, out of all of them, there's one person who stands head and shoulders above all the rest, which was William Regal. And you would have seen a brief video that Mikey took of me meeting him, and the Blue Meanie comes over and interrupts, and he actually gets up and kind of taps me on the arm and says, "I'll be back in a minute," and goes over, talks to the Blue Meanie, comes back, apologises for that, and carries on talking to me. Doesn't rush me away or anything. The guy beside him taking the money doesn't rush me away. But that was just a truly, truly humbling experience to spend 5 or 10 minutes of these people's time and talking to them about something that means something dear to me. But again, you'll hear about that later on. But that was just truly fantastic. Now, I had no idea that these guys skipped the Saturday Access until I watched Haley's video about it. Because I thought they'd done that, and I thought that I would be back in the hotel before they were. And that's whenever Alan texted me and said, "We're back in the hotel, let me know whenever you're en route." So, which I did, and they'd demolished like a box full of Dunkin' Donuts, and Haley was as, you know, as high on sugar.
One donut.
Really? Very good.
One.
But, you know, and then obviously just hanging out with Mikey, I made sure to thank Mikey for just his help and stuff, and you know, send him, because he wasn't going to Hall of Fame, he was going to Broadway show, which he really enjoyed, so fair play. And then I would see him
The Hall of Fame was almost like a Broadway show with the way things went on.
And then the Sunday we would see him for WrestleCon.
But I'll quickly run through Saturday for my side of things. We did Saturday morning access. We only met 2 people, me and Chris Hill. My mind's completely went as to who the first was, but the second was JBL. Oh, sorry, I also met Lita on Saturday, but that was the quick one because it was a legend stand, so I was lucky to get and meet her. Fantastic, that was always a dream. Me and Haley met her. Haley met Chris Jericho. Oh, tell much I love.
Just wait to get a ball of water.
But Haley went and met Chris Jericho, so she enjoyed that. But kind of towards the end of the morning access session, because it had been an early start for everybody, and I think everybody kind of was slightly hitting the kind of tiredness barrier. Haley wanted to go to the Superstore, so after morning access, when everybody was chased out, we dandered over to the Superstore again. Haley matched Chris in spending about $150 on stuff. I think she got the likes of I Was Here t-shirt, teddy bears, all that sort of stuff. Then again, we got Chris Hill was getting really, really tired by this stage.
It's hilarious because on that you just hear him going, "Right, come on, let's go, I'm tired."
He's like, "Hey you guys," you know, when we were on the bus, so he was shattered, and so that's when we decided, right, okay, we will skip the afternoon access session. And of course that was the access session that had Cody Rhodes.
And you were probably gutted that you didn't get to meet Heyman, because Heyman was in the morning. You were like, right, we have to go straight to Heyman's thing.
But literally we arrived, and it wasn't long after things had started, and literally we reached the queue and they said, "You will not get to meet Heyman," because Heyman was taking pictures with everybody no matter what the assistant said, which was a shame, but hey, can't win them all.
Well, he's this year.
But hopefully he's here next year. But after that, like I said, we started to make our way back, and kind of luckily we did not hang around for the afternoon access session, because we literally made it back into the hotel about 15 minutes before he arrived back. We thought, having left at about 1 o'clock, we would be back well before him. But there was an issue with a certain taxi driver, and let's just say I went New York on his ass. Angry Alan made an appearance. He almost got Simone dropped on the roof of his cab. But yes, we did make it back to the hotel eventually. We all got ready for the Hall of Fame. We went there, and then more craziness ensued. Fantastic speech by Mick Foley, and the ending of that was great with Chris Jericho and CM Punk. Foley delivering the elbow drop.
Like his career, he should have stopped it whenever he said thank you and not done the Santa Claus thing.
No, the Santa Claus thing was a wee bit too much.
Yeah.
But we got Booker T. His Stevie Ray's speech was very nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Of course, we got Spinner Rooney at the end of that. Trish Stratus. Her speech was good, but the crowd was a wee bit when she said that she was pregnant and mentioned her husband.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of young boys' dreams. Kind of went.
Hers was very cheesy, I thought.
I didn't like it a bit though because Finlay got mentioned, so it's all
Yeah.
good there. It was nice to see him get a mention, and she said in an interview that, online, I'll have to show you it at some stage, that she
You're
was.
talking to me and not them.
No, I'm talking to you. Don't worry.
Okay. That's fine, Alan. I look forward to it.
But she was actually. She said it was very close to being Finlay being the one that was inducting her.
All right.
She said it was very, very close. She said it was a